What's a good? What's a good question, Derek?
What's a good question, Chris? What'd you say? What's a good question?
Fat dudes.
What about?
They always get some type of good-looking girlfriend.
I feel like fat dudes, because me and you aren't. I'd say we're semi-fat.
I'm fucking chubby.
Yeah, we're chubby dudes. I feel like when you're chubbier, you can't rely on your looks as much, so you have to really hone in that personality. Like, I've always subscribed to the theory that uh, if a girl's laughing, her eyes are closed. So if you're really funny, you just gotta keep them laughing long enough that they don't look at you long enough to realize you're ugly. You just keep them laughing, and they'll never realize. That's what I've incorporated into my dating routine.
Is that true?
Is what true that I'm funny?
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty funny. I don't think I'm the funniest person in the world, but like I don't think I'm not funny. I think I'm situationally funny. I think in the right situation I could really thrive. But that's about the best that I got. What about you? Do you think you're funny?
Do I think I'm funny? Like I said, it's situation. I don't think I'm more funny. I think it's just I rely a lot on my dry humor, maybe even certain circumstances where I say certain shit. I don't even mean to be funny. It just comes out that way, and it happens to be funny. I don't try to be funny. Um,
It just comes natural to you.
it, I guess it does, but just like, oh, like that's a good that like let's say somebody says something stupid, I'd be like, insert this quote right there. It's gonna fit perfectly and it's gonna sound funny.
But like, if somebody gave you like a pen and paper, and they were like, write up. If somebody gave you a pen and paper, that's all good. It's funny because I was listening to the old podcast back, or not the old podcast, but the most recent episode. And for the people who are listening, we're sharing one mic right now, so a lot of the times I'll be talking and then Chris will say something, but I'll have to move the mic over there or vice versa. So there's always like a slight like half-second pause. So I was listening to it, I was like, it sounds like we did it over Zoom, like with that slight delay. We're not doing it over Zoom. Chris is like 2 feet from my face right now. We're just sharing the same mic. But I forgot what we were talking about. I just wanted to clear that up real fast.
Being funny with girls. I don't know what is it. Maybe some people that are listening out there, they're like, oh, I do need some help with girls. To be honest, I've never been the ladies' man. Why should I guess I have. You know why? I've
Why?
I've never chased girls.
They've always chased you, dude.
Honest to God, they've always chased me. I've never went up to a girl once and just like, hey, it's never turned out to be nothing serious. But every time a girl's chased me,
It's been set. I wouldn't say I've been much of a lady chaser. I'd say, I've been in probably what serious relationships. Probably like two like serious relationships. I mean, because I had like a girlfriend. I was like 13 or 14, and I was like, yeah, this is my girlfriend. But I mean, fucking, you're 14. Like, what is that? I'd say I probably have like two serious relationships in my life. But I've never been one to be like, I need to chase after girls because honestly, and I mean this like wholeheartedly, I'd rather have a solid group of boys than a one solid like significant other. Because as much as it's great to have that significant other, and it's like a whole different level of intimacy. I feel like I'd much rather surround myself with a bunch of positive, uplifting, like-minded individuals.
the boys.
The boys. There's, you could always lay down and find a girl and settle down and start a family later, but like, you gotta, the boys are here. The boys will always be here, the boys are where it's at. And you got the loyalty to the boys. Gotta stay loyal to the boys. Bros before hoes, that's the first thing they teach you. The first thing they teach you as a boy is, hey, fucking, your boys are your boys, and they'll be your boys to the end of the road. Because that's how it goes. I feel like boys, in general, I'm not a girl, so I can't really,
Speak on their part.
I can't. However, I've been part of girl friend groups. My girl Nicole. I think you missed her by like 5 minutes at my birthday party.
Fuck you, Nicole.
No, absolutely not. Nicole, don't listen to him. Nicole's one of the coolest ladies I know. But I remember I went up to Nicole's house one night. I was just going up there, and I show up, and she's like, "Hey, fucking come hang out." And I was like, "Of course I'll come hang out." I go in there. She's like, we're playing video games, and I walk into her room, and it's her friend Kaylee, her friend Jessica, and there's another girl there that I can't remember her name. And I was like,
They were having an orgy.
I was like a little part of me was like, oh my god, this is the fantasy that like 12-year-old boys when they're starting puberty have. I've infiltrated girls' night. I am in the girls' slumber party, and they're like, Dereck, come sit on the bed, come talk with us. And I was like, okay. So I get on the bed, and they were like, Dereck, teach us how to fucking do dabs. And I was like, I would love to do that, ladies. So I'm sitting there. All 5 of us are chilling. We're having a good time. We're talking, and then I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I've never been involved in a girls' night. They're like, well, we're gonna fully initiate you into girl talk, and I was like, I'm so excited to see how the other side lives. All they talked about was boys. Like they were like this is, and then they're like, this is this text messages to me. How would you interpret that? And then they were like, Dereck, what if you got this text message as a boy? What does that mean? And I would hit him with it. They'd be like, that's such an amazing insight. I know it sounds like I'm being like mean to Nicole, but Nicole, I know you actually listen to the podcast, and you know I love you, and you're super cool.
Does she?
She does listen to the podcast. Nicole's a cool lady.
Shout out Nicole, whatever your last name is. I haven't met you. The mic probably heard you, but shout out Nicole. Never met you. Look forward to meeting you. Dereck says you do some crazy things. I don't do crazy things, but look forward to meeting you.
The story of how I met Nicole was I actually met Nicole through Tinder. And I was working at Sears, and we were talking, and she was like, I made peanut butter cookies. And I was like, can I get some peanut butter cookies? And she was like, yeah, come up tonight when you're off work and come get some peanut butter cookies. And I was like, I'll be there. So, but she lived like up in San Marcos. So I drove like 30 minutes up there. I get up there. She's there, and she's like with her roommates. And just before the story goes any further, I want everybody to know listening, I know it's none of their business, but me and Nicole have exclusively always been friends, and never more than that. But... What?
The dogs.
Yeah.
Raisin, Butters.
It's okay. Get over here. Stop.
They don't listen. They're pugs. Pugs are the most stubborn dogs there are. Yeah, go ahead, put them inside. I'll talk to the audience real quick. Currently, we are on the patio right now, and we're just chilling. I'm at a tall boy of Twisted Tea. I am a girl, so I love girl drinks. I love Twisted Teas. I love bitch drinks. The girl drinks are fucking amazing.
That gets you turned. And juice that gets you turned.
It's pina colada. I'm just kidding. Twisted tea is just sweet tea, and alcohol makes it get you fucked up. Just want to let you know, if you can hear the song that's playing in the background, it's called Winona by DJ Boring. It's absolutely amazing if you like some type of lo-fi or anything. Also, I want to give a shout-out to my boy Samuel. He's releasing new music. He just got some studio monitors. Fuck. I wish I could pull up his Instagram real quick, but I'm gonna let Dereck continue talking about his story with Nicole. Then I'm gonna bring up his Instagram so I could promote it.
Yeah. So I go up to San Marcos. I'm hanging with Nicole, her friends, her roommates. We're always having a good time. We go to the pool. She ate all the peanut butter cookies on the way up. So I got no peanut butter cookies. I've known this lady almost 3 years, and I still have not gotten my peanut butter cookies. But we went to a restaurant. Me and all of her friends. There was probably like 6 or 7 of us. It just became like a group date. Like I said, there was never anything there. So we just we were friends and we were bros, and we went on this group date to this place called, I think it was Albertsons. I think that's what it was. It was like a sandwich shop, right?
Albertsons?
I don't remember what.
Never heard of that. Sorry to interrupt. But new song by Samuel Strada, also known as MSML on Instagram. M_S_M_L_L_. New song, Adam.
That's our boy.
Adam. He's coming up with some new music. He's hitting every block hard as he can, hard as a cock, whatever it is, but doing it real good. Time to time again, he always proves himself. Releasing really good music. I'll probably be playing his music in the background. But sorry for interrupting, Dereck.
No worries, bro. No worries. Gotta shout out Sam the Clam. Do you know what MSML stands for?
Mucho segusto, mucho le gusto.
I don't believe you.
I'm just drunk.
Oh, okay. But we go to this sandwich shop, and we order our sandwiches, and we're sitting there waiting. They bring out the first order, and they bring out the second order, and we're waiting on a couple sandwiches. And we're like, okay. So we're there, no cap.
Quick question: is it better than Subway's? Albertsons?
I don't know. I'm going to get to that part of the story. So I ordered my food, and like the entire time we've been waiting, I've been getting like they've been telling me how good these fucking sandwiches are. These sandwiches are so good that Nicole goes, "Hey, while we're waiting, I'm just gonna eat my fucking sandwich." And I was like, "Go ahead, man." And this is the first time I've hung out with Nicole. Okay, I'm like, "Go ahead and eat your sandwich. I don't care." 45 minutes later pass, and the employees are like, "Hey, why are y'all still here? We gave you all of your food." And we were like, "Did you?" They did. And Nicole ate my sandwich on accident. So I never got my sandwich.
She ate your fucking sandwich. That's fucking absurd. I'd drop kick her. No, we're no longer friends. Drop her off. If you were you driving?
No, I was riding around with her and her friends.
Oh, because I would have left her there.
Dude, I was. She was just like, "I'm so sorry," and they were closed. They've been closed for 15 minutes, so we couldn't order another one. And to this day, 3 years later, Nicole, I have yet to have your peanut butter cookies, and you have yet to take me. It's probably not called Albertsons because it's the name of a grocery store. It might be called something else, but you're gonna hear this, and I know I'm gonna get a text message from you, and then I'll text Chris in all caps, like fucking. I'll text him the name, and he'll be like, "I don't know what that means," like completely out of context. But I'll get the name for the next one. I'll give them a shout out. But anyways, shout out my girl Nicole. Thank you for initiating me into girls' night. Cool lady. We're supposed to go to a rave with her, and that needs to happen.
And hardcore drugs. Nope. Just kidding. We don't do that over here. Well, at least I don't. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Nicole, cool person, but you do owe Dereck something, so I will hold you accountable to that. That seems like an open chapter in your life. No, I'm kidding. Seems like an open chapter left in your life. Kind of wanted to hit that on a high note. We just had the perfect transition there. Oh my gosh, that's like a bull. Like, dude, that's a beautiful dog. I'd steal his dog.
I really enjoy doing the podcast. I really enjoy doing the podcast outside. I really enjoy doing it on our both of our respective patios because the view is nice and there's something like calming and freeing about like we're just two bros outside chilling, conversing, talking. Because like I feel like at this point in our like friendship, conversation is something that we don't really have as much. You know, we have like the same basic things we talk about, like work and stuff like that. So it's really cool to like actually sit and talk about you with like semi-serious stuff, you know?
Big booty bitches fighting over food.
Bro, is there anything better than big booty bitches fighting over food though?
Nothing. But I did kind of want to hit. I like that, Dereck. That's a good input. Never thought about it that way. Yeah. But
cause like at work we talk about work and you know Apex, the same basic things, you know. But this is a chance for us as boys, as the cool fucking cats, to sit down and talk about things that we regularly wouldn't be able to or get the chance to talk about.
Because usually we can't go in depth at things like have this conversation at work because we're always busy or something like that. But I do want to hit this. It's chapters. What I mean by chapters is maybe at some point in your life you were starting something that you really wanted to finish and you never finished it. Let's say you once picked up how to paint and you were getting really good at it and then you stopped because you hurt your hand. Or maybe one time you met a certain person in your life and it never worked out and you never really got that full closure that you wanted. So I kind of want to talk about that. I have nowhere where I don't have anything planned to talk about it. But
talk about in general, yeah. What kind of open chapters do I have?
Let's see what unopened chapters in my life. Probably when I moved away from Houston to go to San Antonio. I left off on a bad foot with some of my family members. Just left. Like fuck you, I don't fucking care. I mean, that's a lot of that happens to a lot of people. You're just gonna end up on a bad foot. You're just gonna leave. What the fuck is this playing on the radio? Fuck.
Come on, SoundCloud.
Come on, Samuel. What the fuck? We're gonna listen to Elton John, Benny and the Jets.
Bro, yes sir. Just make sure they can't get too loud. I ain't trying to get copyright struck. I don't.
We won't. But no, it's just apparent to me that a lot of people, absolutely a lot of people, have these chapters in their life. Maybe something happened to them. It's just never finished. A lot of it's relationships. A lot of it, like, what if, could have, should have. Could have been with this certain person. Could have done that. But you never know until you try. You could be, 4 or 5 years down the line, and you could still be thinking about that certain person. Even though that was 4 or 5 years ago, they're not definitely going to be the same person. but you're still gonna have that willingness to try, to maybe even try to initiate something or ignite a flame that was there at one point, but
But you never like fully capitalized on. It's like making up for lost time almost. It's kind of like what you're saying. Like hypothetically, if there was like a relationship that like I felt like I missed out on, I just want to make sure that like I'm interpreting it correctly. Like if there's a relationship I missed out on, say
not necessarily just about relationships, but I mean a big part of it is relationships, but something else you could have done in life, like missed opportunities.
got you, whether that's like a I got you. I feel like we could really apply that to like school and stuff like that. I feel like honestly thinking about it, I feel like the thing I could apply that to is probably sports because sports was like my life between like age probably like 12 to 18, right? That's I lived, breathed like ate like football, basketball.
Dick.
No, not quite. Almost, but not quite. Like that's what it was. Like there was nothing in the world that was going to stop me from doing something in sports. And like I'm short, and so I was like maybe not playing. Like,
Stubby.
I am short and stubby, and that's okay. I am short and
So am I.
yeah. I was like you're like a half inch taller than me, and you weigh like 30 more pounds.
I still am a half inch taller, but I have muscle on me though. Dog, you can see these biceps poking right now. It's like, call me Thor right now, Fat Thor,
Looking like a melted ice cream cone.
looking like a semi built half melted ice cream cone.
I know that this isn't interesting at all for the people that are listening, but quick side tangent. The two ladies that are preparing for Friendsgiving tomorrow, like
We're supposed to be cleaning, but are watching Fortune Fire.
an hour ago, they were like, "We're gonna go to HEB and get the rest of the stuff to finish," and we were like, "Okay," and like they just haven't fucking left. They're just there. Like,
They're sitting in there like potatoes in a bag, just bottomless, weightless, sitting there emotionless, just watching Fortune Fire. It's not even about being me. It's just like they're watching Fortune Fire. I love Fortune Fire. You haven't known that, but yeah. Let's get back on topic, though. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like a big unopened, or I guess missed opportunity was pursuing that in another way. Whether that was as like an analyst or for a while, my goal was I wanted to major in kinesiology and do something like a personal training or something like that, work on like a medical staff. And like that opportunity is still there for me. And that's something that I think I would definitely pursue that if presented the right opportunity.
Money. If you had money, you would do it.
If I had the amount of money that I wouldn't have to worry about, like if I was like, hey, I know I don't need I can focus on this full time. I don't need to have a job, and I know after I graduate and get my degree in this, I can go immediately to
The workforce.
So yeah, like even if it was like some sort of like minor like team, and then like work my way up, like go work for like a minor league baseball team or like a local even like at a school, working as like something as like at a college or a high school in kinesiology. I think that'd be really cool. But that was something that I just like stopped pursuing. I moved to San Antonio and I got caught up with the hustle and bustle in life, and I feel like a lot of people do that. And I feel like the reason a lot of chapters remain open is because
You're busy on something else. That's what it just takes over. You were in the driver's seat, now you're in the passenger seat, just watching life drive you away from what you wanted to do.
I wouldn't even say necessarily that you're in the passenger seat. I'd say that
I feel like I'm in the passenger seat, or at least shifting gear. Like we're in standard, I'm just shifting the gears.
you're just taking. I like to think, and like I get that, and I'm not trying to validate your opinion or feeling on it, but the way I interpret it and see it is, I'm still in the driver's seat. I have full control. However, the highway is it's shut down, and you have to take a detour. You have to merge onto another one for a couple hundred.
That's a good take.
and then loop back around, and then you could get back on it. I feel like as long as you're in control, like right now, I'm not saying I'm at the mercy of life or anything. I mean, I guess I kind of am to an extent with the pandemic. That was another chapter that we were talking about. For those who don't know, 18 months ago, I was super involved with the Comic-Con circuit. I was traveling every month, almost every 2-3 weeks, going to like different cities and states doing Comic-Cons. I owned a merchandising company. We did powder coating cups, we did flasks, all that sort of stuff, and that was like my next thing after sports. That's what my my focus was. I was like, this is my future, this is my career, this is my passion, this is what I want to do. I want to create, I want to travel, I want to meet like-minded people.
Entrepreneur.
Not even that. I just enjoyed. I don't get me wrong. I enjoyed like working. I guess working for myself in an extent. But what I really enjoyed was the opportunities that it gave me. I got to go to a lot of places I otherwise wouldn't have gone to. I got to meet really cool people that I still talk to today that I otherwise would have never gotten to talk to or meet. You know?
FYI, he was just super hyped. He was like, bro, I have fucking Instagram messages from that are checked marked. Fucking Power Rangers hitting me up saying my company's the shit. Where are we? Coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's like, I have that fucking clout, dog. Because I have that clout. That checked marked people hitting me up.
That's what sucks. That's what sucks the most is because literally 18 months ago I had that clout. I did, and like I hate to say it because I don't want to.
Succubus.
I don't want to sound like I'm like look at how big my dick is. I don't want to say that, but like I don't want to undermine.
Mine's 6. How much?
What was that?
Mine's 6.
Probably around the same.
So that sounds fair.
Yeah. But I didn't want to undermine like what me and my team did to get to that point, because like it was 2 years before we started doing shows, and it was 2 or 3 years of doing 4 shows a year. And then I remember 2019, we were in October. We just finished our show here in San Antonio, which is always nice. It's always nice to do a show in the backyard. That's our hometown turf. We had home court advantage for that. But I remember looking at it, and we had our books done, and we were like, yo, next year, 18 shows already paid for, ready to go. 26 shows in total we were looking at, one every other weekend. Like it was like we were gonna make 6. It was gonna be my full-time job. I was gonna get paid like every other week. It was gonna be what I did. And then the coronavirus happened, and I had to get a real job, and that's a chapter that's still open, but I don't know how long this is going to be. And my biggest thing is when the world, I guess, goes back to normal, as close to normal as we can go after this. My merchandise, Comic-Con as a whole, as a industry, is a want and it's not essential. It's not a necessity. And my biggest thing is I'm scared in 5 years it's still going to be viewed as like not a necessity, and that entire like potential future that I had doing that is just gone forever now.
Well, COVID-19 vaccine is coming out soon. They applied for like an FDA emergency thing. I don't know I don't know the specific details. I just read the headline. I like to do my research and read the articles, at least read 2, but this time I was just being lazy. But supposedly at least 2 major pharmaceutical companies applied for the FDA, saying that, hey, we're 95% sure that this vaccine works. We just need to get it past the Food Drug Administration and
Then we could release it to the public.
release it to the public. I think they're going to hit seniors first.
Yeah.
But I'm low-key kind of scared that it's going to be like I Am Legend.
Never seen it.
Okay, when I Am Legend starts with this lady, the virus is named after her last name. This virus, it was the cure for cancer, and then like it just like the way coronavirus works, or the coronavirus vaccine works. It works as it makes your body think you have it, or it builds up some antigens or something like that. And that's what happened in I Am Legend, and everybody became fucking mutant zombies or vampires of a sort, and took over the world. And yeah, I'm scared that's gonna happen to us. So I'm gonna wait to take the vaccine. I'm not gonna be first in line.
Yeah, no. For sure. Like I think I was telling you the other day, I went to my granddad's house, and I was hanging out there, and I was like, "So, coronavirus. They come up with a vaccine. Are you getting it?" My granddad was like, "I'll be the first one to get it. I don't give a fuck." He was like, "I'll get it." I was like, "You know what? I'll definitely get a coronavirus vaccine after everybody else gets it first, and I'll wait 2-3 months to see how everybody else fares, and then I'll go get it."
You gotta let other people be the guinea pigs.
Yeah, I saw a lot of. I have not read the article, so I'm really sorry if I don't know all the details, and I don't really want to get like super into it because I don't want to say anything that might. I don't want to say sound.
Not fact checked.
Exactly.
This is coming off the brain of what he saw, but can't remember 100%.
Right. I know a big like contingent with the coronavirus vaccine. Excuse me. I just saw like on Facebook or Instagram or something. I've seen it multiple times, but I've never read the article to understand why people are believing this. But I've read a lot of places saying or referring to the COVID vaccine as being like the mark of the beast from the Book of Revelation.
Boo.
And I'm not going to say it's not because, like I said, I haven't read them and I don't understand the full. And again, I am so sorry if I get this wrong because I'm sure
Sorry to interrupt. That's the demon dog that I almost kicked its head off because
Oh,
it
no.
charged at my dogs.
That's him.
I'd fuck that dog.
Anyways, I do not want to sound like I'm the authority on it because I am not. And if anybody has interest in it or they want to fact check it, I encourage you to do so. But as far as my recollection and my interpretation, I thought the mark of the beast didn't happen until after the rapture. And again, if I'm wrong and I sound ignorant, my sincerest apologies. This is something I should
We don't
know.
apologize to
This is
people
some-
here.
But this is something I should know that I don't. But I believe it's supposed to happen after the rapture. And remember, there was a while where we were like, maybe Trump's the Antichrist. And like,
When Trump got coronavirus, we were like just pondering, just like, you know what? If he fucking dies and comes back 3 days later, I'm out this bitch. Suicide is my answer.
because the biggest thing I told you was like the biblical like interpretation is like the Antichrist will take like a sword to the head or a blade or something like that. And I was like, maybe we're interpreting it as too literal. Maybe the coronavirus swab like up the nose. I was like I told myself when I saw Trump get coronavirus, I was like, if this man dies, I'm dipping. Like I know, like any doubt I might have ever had, if he dies and comes back, I know. Like I'm like, yo, hey God, it's your boy. We've been tight. Like, hey. I know what's going on. I've read the books. I know. But that didn't happen. And I don't think Trump's the Antichrist.
He's just stupid.
I mean, hey, I don't have any strong opinions on political at all. I try to.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie. I try very hard to not be political, and you know that. I am a master as this man right here. I am a master at playing both sides, depending on who I'm with. Literally nobody knows my true political agenda. Nobody, but everybody thinks I align with theirs because I'm just that shifty. Like you can't even say I'm not.
I don't know what political agenda he has, but I don't really. I don't really care if it aligns with mine. I wouldn't care if it didn't.
I feel like it's a big thing. A lot of people.
You gotta have that conversation.
Yeah, but like I feel like a lot of people. And I don't want to throw names out there, but there's at least 2 people that come to mind when I think of it. Maybe 3. 3 people for sure, and I'll tell you after the show. But I bet you could guess who they are. There's 3 people I know that no matter what you say or anything like that, they're gonna. If you don't agree with them, they're going to look down upon you for not believing with their personal beliefs.
Which is dumb, because everybody should have their own opinion. That's how it is. I don't give a fuck. As long as it's not enacting violence or hateful in some type of way, as long as they're not saying it, it's their opinion. They should have it.
Exactly. I remember who said it. I think it was my youth pastor, my boy Jeremy. Sup, Jeremy? I know you don't listen to it.
Fuck you, Jeremy.
No, boo.
Youth pastor, more like trying to brainwash religion on you.
No, Jeremy was actually a really cool cat. But I think, and I think he told me it, and I might be wrong, but if not, he's my scapegoat for saying this. He was like, he was really smart, and he was like, I understand people have truths, and it's every individual's right to their own truth. However, it just gets really dangerous when we start accepting people's individual truths as like what that's just a truth. Let them believe it because I remember the big topic that brought up this conversation was we were talking about people that are transitioning, stuff like that. People who don't identify as whatever they're born.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And he was.
Don't say it.
No, I'm trying really hard to tread lightly because I'll be the first to admit like I'm pretty ignorant in the whole thing. I don't want to say anything that makes anybody feel invalidated because like I said,
we're in kind of deep water right now. You're just digging a hole.
No, I feel like I haven't said anything too demeaning. But my thing was, and the thing that this gentleman said that really struck a chord with me was if somebody says, "Hey, my truth is that I was born a man but identify as a woman. That is my truth in the heart of hearts." Like, I understand that, and I support you. If that's what
Are you talking about gender dysphoria?
I don't know if that's what it's called.
It's something like
what I'm
yeah, I
talking
think that's what
about-
it is. Gender dysphoria.
What I'm talking about is if we start accepting that, right? At what point do we draw the line? Because if we go, hey, this person says that they truly believe in their heart of hearts and in their truth, personal belief that they are, that they're this gender and that they love this gender, with their whole hearts or whatever. Uh, and then, but what if you're a 42-year-old man and you go, my truth, my truest truth deep down in my heart is that I love 12-year-old boys. Like, at what point?
Fucking weirdos.
At what point do we say your truth is invalid, but these people's are? And now, I do not want it to sound like I'm condoning pedophilia because I'm not. And if I ever found out anybody I knew was a pedophile, I'd
Fucking kill you.
actually beat the shit out of them.
That's not right. Pedophilia is not a fucking sexual nature where they're trying to classify it as. Are you fucking stupid? How retarded do you have to be?
But the question is why? Why is
They have a mental condition.
why are other ideologies of going, well, this is my truth? Why is that accepted? But another one. So I think that
It's literally a mental condition. Gender dysphoria. Literally, when they say that shit, that's why they don't allow them in the army. Because of that reason. They're not right in the head.
no. Again, I'm
Yee!
not, no.
I'm kidding. But no, that is my true opinion on it. Hate me, love it. I don't really care if that's my opinion on it.
My thing, and again, I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this. And I really apologize if I do upset anybody. I don't intend to upset anybody. However, I ask that if I believe in your truth, and I'm not going to look at you different or tell you I disagree with you because your truth is different than mine. However, I believe my truth is, if you're a guy and you truly love dudes or vice versa or whatever, do that. Do whatever makes you happy. But I feel like the second we all start victimizing ourselves, to that extent, and
We don't get nowhere.
exactly because at some point, do we go, hey, everybody in the LGBT community, they believe what they
They
believe.
added like 3 other letters to it.
Exactly, but then how come we can't let these other people believe what they believe? How come I'm not? How come in my belief, if I go, I identify as a man, and I believe that you should identify with how you were born. If I believe that, if I say this is my truth, how come I'm not allowed to have that belief, but other people are?
Well, I'm a Hispanic, but I identify as a Chinese man.
Oh yeah.
And I love the trees. I believe trees are gods. See how ridiculous that sounds?
But
There's a certain amount that you can try to agree with somebody. And fuck, somebody's calling me. There's a certain amount where you can agree with somebody to where it's like at that point you're like, you know what, that just sounds ridiculous. Okay. Like back in the day. Quote from Mike on Impulsive. He said, back in the day, there were people preaching at a park, saying nonsense. But there was always somebody like, hey, this guy sounds crazy. Get him off that pedestal. Take him to go get help. But nowadays, it's called Twitter.
yeah,
And somebody could get on Twitter.
Preach what they want to preach.
And then you have thousands of people that agree with them. And that's what makes it crazy. That's all I have to say to it.
Yeah. And again, this is not a statement on what's right and what's wrong. This is just, I feel like if other people could have their beliefs projected into the world and get their point of views, and I'm not invalidating any of that. I have no authority to interpret somebody else's life for them or tell them how they should feel or why, or I am like, who the fuck am I to do that? There is nobody that will support anybody more than me. If somebody came to me right now and they're like, hey, I identify as this, I'm born as this is my truth. Like you said, as long as it's not like, I want to fuck kids or I want to kill all these people because that's my belief. Like, as long as it's not a hateful belief, I will go, you know what? I am proud of you because that is your belief. I am proud that you are so steadfast in it. And you found something that you can identify with that makes you happy. However, if I'm going to respect your belief system like that, and I'm going to give you my 100% undying support and say, you know what, that's not my interpretation, but I'm going to support you no matter what that means. All I ask is for the same back. I'm not gonna going to look down on somebody because their views are different than mine. I'm not going to say, well, God says what you're doing is wrong because their views are different than mine. That's not who I am as a person. As a person, I feel like I'm a very open, accepting person. I feel like I'm a very open-minded person. And I'm not above admitting I was wrong in some situations, However, I feel like all I'm asking for is true equality. I believe everybody should be treated the same. And I know this is going to sound really controversial, but I feel like as a straight white male,
Jesus
I feel like
Christ.
so loud. It's
Fucking loud as shit. While Derek's on his rant, just fucking somebody over here.
Dude, and I'm on a roll too. I'm just popping off. But I feel like as a
I was gonna cut it. Like I was gonna cut that after once you finish. I was gonna cut it, and then I was gonna say something else because I get want to hit 2 more topics.
Of course.
Finish what you have
I'm
to say.
finish up right now. This is it right here. I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers, but I feel like in today's modern society, as a straight white male, my opinion gets invalidated a lot. And I'm not saying that straight white males haven't had the easiest path in life, because I mean, we have. There's no getting around that, and I understand that. However, I don't think anybody should feel quote unquote white guilt or any sort of guilt for that. I didn't ask to be born white, but it's the same thing because I was born white, because I identify as a male. Like, why should my beliefs matter less than yours? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that's what I have to say on that.
Well, that's something that we should leave the viewers off thinking about when they get home.
Again, one last time, just to cover my own ass. Much love to everybody. You do you. Whatever helps you get out of bed in the morning, whatever gets you to sleep at night, as long as you're not hurting anybody or doing anything actively negative. Like, I see him. He's so cute. As long as you're not doing anything actively negative, and your sole intention is to put more good out into the world than there was, then I could fuck with you, regardless of what that means. But that's just my opinion on that. So I'm gonna throw it over to you now. I've been talking for a minute.
Well, now that he went, I feel like he needed to get that off his chest. He says it a lot at work, but I feel like it was time he reached a little bit more viewers, like 8 other people.
I feel like it's not a bad thing.
It's not. It's something he had to get off. I kind of wanted to hit off because it's been something that's on my mind. Just unopened chapters. What do you do in those certain situations? If you have something that's going great for you, and you still have that part in your life where you're like, what if, it wasn't on a good note. A wise man once said to me, I owe it to myself to see what's gonna happen. I owe it to myself, and I was like, I fucking hate this guy. He's a moron. I don't hate him. I was like, man, this guy's a moron. But if he actually, any advice that he gave me, that's like one of the things that really stuck with me. And I really applaud him for it because he said, I owe it to myself to find out what's good for me.
Was that wise man me? Was that wise man me?
I'm not going to confirm or deny.
It was me.
But it really did stick with me. It really did like it got my gears turning.
Absolutely.
And I was just wondering, like, man, what chapters in my life have I left that I have not tied the knot on, or not sure? And I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, man, I have about like 4 or 5 of them, and I'm currently about to get a therapist. Dereck has put me on a therapy.
Yes.
He's getting a therapist. Oh, he has a therapist, but I'm gonna get a therapist soon, and I want to look at this therapist not just. I want to know shit. I want to know shit on why I do certain things a certain way. I need to know. I need to. And I feel like once I talk to them about this, certain things, I'm going to find out why. And I'm going to hit these chapters rolling. Freaking running. I'm going to hit these chapters like whatever I have to do to get it done, to get some peace. Because when you leave them unopened, they're just there. And that what if could have happened. It drives you crazy. So that's why nowadays I'm kind of like always like, I'm going to stick to it to the end. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. If it does, it does. But I owe it to myself, like the wise man once said, to figure out what I need and what I want so I could feel fulfilled. Okay?
That kind of touches on what we talked about last episode when you were talking about your mental health. And I guess, if you really reach for it, you can kind of tie it into.
It does tie to your mental health. What do you mean? No.
I'm talking about the. It could also tie into the whole, like when we were talking about expanding galaxy and fleeting time, because in the grand scheme of things, 70 years, 80 years, however long it may be, might seem like fucking forever, but it
means nothing. Exactly. It means nothing in the grand scheme of things.
And you owe it to yourself. You have been
find those answers that's been driving you crazy for years. To even if it's just the slightest thing that you want to find out about yourself, because in the grand scheme of things, you're nothing but a speck of dust. Not even a speck of dust. You might be black matter. Or dark matter.
We don't know. Yeah, exactly. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And in that grand scheme, you're here for such. You're here for a grain of sand in the internal cosmic hourglass that is forever. And in that, you owe it to yourself. The odds of either of us being here are 1 in a trillion. And we're gonna drag on and we're just gonna fucking die one day. We're gonna die one day. And I would much rather die knowing everything I could have done, I did. I gave 100% to everything I did. I left no stones unturned, and I've answered all my questions. There is nothing I regret, because you owe it to yourself in that extremely limited amount of time, and your 1 in a trillion chance of existence. You owe it to yourself to live it to the most you can. Because that's why we're here. That's what we're supposed to do.
I think maybe that's why I have a lot of things that I want to find out still, because I wasn't giving my 100%, and I noticed that's one of my downfalls. I don't give 100% all the time. I really don't.
What is the last thing you recall giving 100% to, and the last thing you recall kind of phoning it in, if you don't mind me asking?
Phoning it in, some parts of school. This semester is a little bit different, but I'll touch on that in the next episode. But 100%, honest to God, first 3 years of soccer, a year of tennis. It's like life just
That was the last thing you gave, like your 100% to.
Life just like, that's why I said I'm kind of like in the passenger seat, because life is just like, because the reason why I'm not in the passenger seat is because I'm not giving 100%. Life is giving that 100%. I need to give like 110%. I need to take over that passenger seat. But I'm just sitting there, just watching it pass by me when I know I could have full control. But I don't know what stops me from giving that 100%. That's why I have a lot of these unopened chapters in my life that I really want to go back into. That's why if God gave me the power to time travel, I'd go back in time and we wouldn't be having this conversation. We probably wouldn't even have met. Life would have been different. We're staring at this dark sky because we're recording at night. We'd be staring at this sky right now, and it wouldn't mean anything. We'd be looking at the same sky, just not knowing each other, not in this apartment, not wearing these shoes, not sitting in this chair, not doing the same routine we've been doing for 3 months or 6 months. Life is just. It's crazy, and that's why in the grand scheme of things, I feel like you should do 100%. And I'm finally feel like I'm coming around to it, like coming to terms with just like giving 100% or expanding, like do what you want to do to finally make you happy. And that's why I said wise man once said you owe it to yourself. So I've kind of rolled with that philosophy for like a month now.
Absolutely, living life to the fullest. Because it's what we come into a.
We're about to come to a conclusion in like 2 minutes.
Dude, honestly, I was over here. You were talking, and I was like, "This has been solid." We've talked about. We had none of these things planned. Every time we were like, "It's time to podcast," we let's think of topics. We never we try to write some down. They always seem forced, and they come across as I would say forced. Like that's probably
the best comes naturally, and that natural.
It's just a vibe.
I feel like I'm getting more emotional just talking about it. This is why I need a therapist. That's why I'm getting this therapist. I feel like the first therapy session, I'm gonna fucking cry. I'm just like get all teary eyed. Like, hey, this is why I'm like this.
Bro,
Give me these fucking answers.
I got it. Next episode. We'll shoot it Friday, Saturday night. I have therapy on Friday. If you're in therapy by then, dude, we'll talk about our therapy sessions. Figure out who we are as person. Maybe that's the direction of the podcast. Maybe the podcast is an outlet for us to expand on our mental health.
The start of the podcast was just figuring out yourself. Remember? Remember I said I wanted to start the podcast to figure out your mental health, figure out who you want to be, and grow as a person. That's what it's coming to, and I'm glad it's going to come to that. I'm finally at that point in my life where I need these answers, so
Yeah, but on that note,
got to wrap up like a condom.
exactly. I think we've said a lot of things. I know I've said a lot of things, but Chris has also talked a lot too. It's been I feel like this has been a pretty solid episode.
It's a long podcast. I'm definitely going to have to, hopefully people, I want viewer retention, so let us know if this episode was too long. We definitely will.
Can you
45 minutes.
Dude, I didn't realize we were talking that long. We've just been talking about things. Clip it up and put up clips if we need to, but they don't need to hear that. I'm gonna end up on my end right here real fast. I just want to say thank you to everybody for hearing me incoherently ramble. Again, I apologize to anybody if I've hurt feelings or stepped on toes. That was never my intention. My intention was to reveal my truth to myself as well as everybody else.
We don't give a fuck about people's opinions, because you're entitled to your own.
Absolutely, and everybody's entitled to their own. And anybody who disagrees with you and tries to make you feel bad for for your opinion, fuck them, because it's your opinion and it's your life, and you don't owe an explanation to anybody except yourself. But I'm about to sign off and let Chris take it out. I have been Dereck. Thank you guys so much for listening. I know we disappeared for a while. This is only the second episode of season 2, but we've been getting messages from some really cool people saying that they really enjoyed what we're talking about. I know we only have like 35 subscribers or something like that, but
32.
Dude, that's okay. Just thank you. If you've made it this far, fucking my sincerest thank you. If I knew your name, I would say thank you.
Pelon.
Pelon, dude, my fucking boy. My boy, dude, I do like him. I shit on him a lot. That's because he shits on me a lot. But I feel like a lot of people shit on me a lot. But that's okay, because I just like give off that aura. But he's my boy. Thank you so much for listening. He's a real G. He says the link out whenever to everybody without even asking. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. Like Sam the Clam, the ladies that listen to us and then support us through everything, Sarah.
The new ladies that have been listening to us.
Ladies, absolutely. You know who I'm talking about. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What's up, Liz?
Yeah, Liz's sister. Anyways,
Whatever it is.
It's been us. We've been the Cool Cats. I'm signing off. I'll let Chris finish it up.
Take your mental health serious. It's something that should be very serious. Kind of want to wrap it up here like a condom. Got to wrap it up, never going raw. I should listen to my own advice. Thanks, guys.